Hello and welcome back to Oklahoma Prepper channel. This is part 2 of the MOAB 10 Get Home bag that I'll be reviewing the second part of it. If you didn't watch part 1, I'll put part 1 down in the description below so you can watch it, so this bag makes a little bit of sense. But basically, if you're just joining me, this is a bag that I use in the back of my trunk that I keep back there. That is a Get Home bag, which means that if I am somewhere else besides home, I need to get myself back home. This was what this bag is for, so it's to sustain me for that amount of time. Now, in the first video, I went over the outside of the bag, all the features on the outside, including the front main pouch you see there in the front with the flag and the battery pack, that big front pouch. And I also went over the large canteen or Nalgene pouch on the side, which is that one right there, and I went over all the contents of that one. So if you want to watch that, like I said, the description down below, there'll be a link for it. The things that I missed on the outside, I'll go over real quick, just to get those out of the way to show you those features. So one of the features on the bottom that I forgot to show you was this Y strap down there. This thing is, like I said, it's shaped like a Y. You have your two straps coming from the back right here and meeting in the front in this buckle, which you can use underneath the bag, which is adjustable for whatever size you really need it to be. This is something that I would use to attach something like a, probably like a sleeping bag or like a sleeping kit, or maybe like a roll of maybe a dry sack. I'll show you in another video that I have in my trunk. Or if you just have a wet jacket you want to put on the outside, something like that you can throw underneath. It's just a good way of just kind of holding gear on the outside for you. Another feature I forgot to mention here on the back part was this zippered area, this padded area you can put a hydration bladder in. So there is a spot right here. It's kind of hard because my strap's in the way. There is a spot right here which you can attach a camelback or kind of a platypus, whatever hydration bladder you have, you can attach to this part right here. This part is rigid, just like I've shown in my previous bag review video. My EDC bag, the other 511 bag, did have a rigid plate insert, which is removable just like this one. So if you need to, you can just open this Velcro right here and pull that piece out, and you can have it be not as rigid if you want, or keep the rigidity. It's up to you. This is mainly, like I said, a hydration bladder pack, but you can put whatever you want back here. If you want to have some important documents or any kind of flat object, you can keep that in the back. And then another part of the outside I forgot to go over was this pocket right here. Of course, it's kind of a hidden pocket. It is Velcroed at the top, and it is a hidden kind of CCW or concealed carry pouch to put your firearm. Now, I can't put any firearm in mine because mine is already stuffed to the gills. There's no more room inside this bag, as you'll see into this video. But if your bag isn't as packed as mine and you have some room, you can throw your firearm in here. So when you're carrying your bag and you can throw it in front of you, you can actually get to your concealed carry gun pretty easily and quickly. It is pretty deep. It does go to the very end down here. But like I said, I don't have any room in mine, so where my hand hits is about as far as it's going to go. And then after that, it gets just way too tight. But yeah, there's a spot right there you can put your concealed carry. Okay, and then the final piece on the outside I'll go over is a zippered pocket up here. This is meant to be a sunglasses pocket, but with all the stuff that I have in there, it's kind of hard to get anything in there. So I just put a bunch of little small travel size stuff that I really just wanted to get to quickly if I ever needed to. So I'll go over those contents real quick. I have right now a off Deep Woods bug spray. So if I'm out in the woods or trotting through anywhere like that, I have some bug spray. I have some Eclipse gum, keep my breath fresh, or to use as a bartering tool if I'm out and about. And I notice somebody has something that I want, so I can offer, maybe offer some gum, something to kind of boost morale or something like that. You never know. People like to have gum with them all the time. I have a two-pack of these Colgate Wisp. This is waterless toothbrush stuff. So this is really good for if I'm out in the woods or out in out and about for over a day or so, and I just want to, not have my teeth or mouth feel kind of gross and yucky. I can use this to kind of give myself an impromptu teeth cleaning, out in the world. So it's always good to have these. I carry those with me, no matter what, regardless. So these are really good to have. As I've shown you in other videos, like my first video I made with my EDC little survival pouch, I like these little energy gel things from Goo. This is a chocolate flavored or chocolate peanut butter flavored. This is good for just giving myself a good little burst of energy. You know, I've had a few of these before. They're really good for endurance stuff. If I'm having to hike several miles for several hours, this is good just to keep my my energy levels up. They don't taste that bad actually either, so I really like these a lot as well. The Goo energy gels. And then I have this little thing of lip balm from Samsung when I worked at AT&T last year. Our Samsung rep came and gave us a bunch of Samsung stuff. And then some lip balm, this little circular thing right here. I have used it, works really well. Just something to keep my lips from being chapped. If the sun's really hot outside, I don't want to get any kind of chapped lips or blisters. So this little thing right here is works really well. And the final thing in this little pouch is a glasses cleaning cloth. I do wear glasses sometimes. I don't know where's my contacts. Or if I'm wearing my sunglasses and they get foggy or dirty or messy, I can use this to clean it off as well. So just having a little cleaning cloth is good to keep any lenses I have clean. So that's the inside of this bag. It is felt lined like all the other 511 sunglasses pouches, which is really good to keep your stuff from scratching or getting messed up. So I really like that feature. 511 did a good job of doing that. So now I'm going to dive into the inside of the pack, the main compartment. There's only one main compartment, but it is kind of divided up into other small zippered pockets and other little pockets as well. So now I'll get into that as well. With a lot of 511 gear, like this bag, I have my get home bag and then also my EDC backpack as well. The clamshell open. Some people don't like that. Some people do. It's just personal opinion. I don't mind. I like being able to open the whole thing and get to whatever the contents are, regardless if they're on the top or bottom, so I can stack stuff better and organize it better. So I'll get into it now. There's side compression straps you have to undo, of course. But I'll open it up now. Kind of get into it the best I can. And then I'll go over it kind of piece by piece of what I have in the bag as well. So I'm going to go over this part of the pouch, and then I'll dive into the main part. But on this side, as you can tell, that there's not only mesh pockets right here, but there's also a zippered pocket as well. So there's lots of pockets on this, surprisingly. There's a lot of organization. And a cool thing about this, too, is with these mesh pockets, they are not pass-through. They're actually two different pockets. So my hands right now are not in the same pocket. They're two different things. So on this side of the pocket, I don't have anything, but on this side, as you can see on the outside, I do. So in this one I have a RATS tourniquet. This stands for, it doesn't say, but yeah, RATS tourniquet. Having any kind of tourniquet on there at all in your pack, in any pack, is great as a life-saving device. I like to stash mine kind of everywhere in my car, in my different bags, in my get-home bag, my bug-out bag, really just anywhere. I just like to have tourniquets. They are good for life-saving. So I have the RATS tourniquet, and then with it, I have the instruction sheet. So if anybody needs to use it and they take my bag, they can see just how to use it. You can wrap it around somebody and follow the instructions there. So nothing else in this top mesh pocket there. Okay, so same thing with this main pouch down here, this main mesh pouch. Same thing. It's not the same pass-through. They're both two different things on the pockets. But I just like to keep it simple and keep all my stuff on one side so I'm not cramming everything into one area. So in this pouch, it's just this one side I have stuff in the Velcro in. This is kind of a little mini hygiene kit. I like to keep some extra hygiene stuff, maybe some medication or whatever. So I have, first off, I have some Tylenol extra strength here. So this is good just for if I have a headache, if I have any pain, I can use the Tylenol with this as well. Just a little travel size I can pick up at Walgreens or Walmart or CVS or whatever. Little dollar section over there. I also have some of this Sawyer SPF 30. This is the Stay Put sunscreen. So having sunscreen is definitely a must. That way you don't get dehydrated, because if you're out in the sun too much and your skin starts to burn, you can actually get really dehydrated from the sun sucking all the moisture out of your skin. So you want to avoid that by having some good, really good stuff. Sunscreen, I know SPF 30 isn't the highest. I could get higher, but this is good just to kind of hold me over and protect me from an average day outside. I also have in here some Gold Bond medicated powder. This can be used for my feet if I start getting kind of some blisters on my feet, or I don't have a change of socks with me, or for anything in the groin area if that starts to chafe and kind of get a little itchy and sweaty. Or really just anywhere, anything I need to have some of this on. I have used some of this Gold Bond stuff. It works like magic. It works really, really well. I like having it, again, just a little travel-sized Gold Bond. And finally, the last thing in here, I think anyone's bag should have, no matter what it is and who you are, needs to have some wet ones or some wet wipes. This stuff is probably one of the best things for keeping you clean. This is kind of a military field shower, because that's all they can use. But it's good for not only just keeping your hands and everything sanitized, but it's also good for just wiping you off and making sure that you kind of feel a little bit more fresh than you did if maybe you were sweating all day. You can kind of clean yourself off with this. So having a pair of wet ones is a great thing to have in your bag, no matter what your bag is. The final pieces of stuff that were in the back part of that main top pouch, that zippered part I told you about, this is all the contents of that. And so I'll go over all of that real quick for you. Just a bunch of random stuff I had laying around that I just didn't really have a place for anywhere else. So this is where I threw it. So right here I have this generic Walmart brand. I think the brand is called No Limits. This is a roll top waterproof bag. So if I need to throw anything in here when it's raining outside, I don't want to get anything wet, I can put this waterproof, I can put stuff in this waterproof bag and roll it up and close it and make sure nothing gets wet. If I have like electronics, like my radio or whatever, I can throw that in here as well. I have the rest of my Rescue Essential nitrile gloves. Like I got a pack of these on Amazon that I'll put the link to in the bottom. They come in a pack, I think, of 10, and I've scattered the rest of them in other places. So this is the rest of my 2 left that I've kept in the bag. So I've just put those in there so that way I just have any extras laying around, I can just use those. This is a streets map of my local city. I'm in Oklahoma City, so this is a streets map of where I am. So I can use this to kind of navigate where I need to go. Basically, wherever I live and go is mostly in this map. I don't really ever travel outside of this. So I can use this to kind of navigate where I'm going and kind of plot a way to go. What I'm going to do on this map is I'm going to mark some key places like where I live, where I work, hospitals, places like that. I'm going to mark all that on here. So if I need to give my map to anybody, they can use it to get to safety. And then to go with that, of course, I have a compass on this little lanyard. I don't think it has a brand at all. I think it's just a random flat compass, but it has a magnifying part right here for on a map, and then it has measurements on the outside as well as the turnable bezel for the magnet itself. So this is my compass to use for that map. And then I have this Sawyer squeeze. This is for the Sawyer filter you saw in the Nalgene bottle that I kept. So this is just the bottle to keep the stuff in that came with. I probably won't use this because I'll use the Nalgene bottle, but as a backup, if I ever lose the Nalgene, this is just a little water pouch I can keep the rest of the water in. And finally, I have this Magpul. This is the DACA pouch, D-A-K-A. I don't really know what that stands for, but this is one of the best little pouches I've ever had. It's very rugged. It's a very kind of rugged, kind of rubber feel to it. It's got a waterproof YKK zipper across the top, which slides really well. And the stuff I have in here, I'll go over with you real quick now. The contents of that pouch, just a few things. I have a bunch of batteries. I have some lithium CR123A batteries from Streamlight. I also have some AAA batteries from Energizer. Some just generic Ever-Ready Gold AA batteries. So just batteries for backups for whatever I need. I have a few of these little food pouches. Some of these are Justin Bar ones. So this is like a little pouch of squeezable stuff. This is chocolate hazelnut peanut butter blend. It's all natural. So if I ever need just a quick little snack on the go, if I ever happen to find some bread laying around, I can put it on this and kind of make some toast. I also have a regular peanut butter one there as well. And then Wild Friends Protein Plus peanut butter. This is chocolate peanut butter. So just, again, more stuff I can just quickly eat on the walk or put on some bread if I ever find any around. And this is an Epic bar. They make some really cool kind of different animal bars and stuff and protein bars. So this is a sesame barbecue chicken bar. Kind of odd. Never would have thought of that combination, but it's just a little vacuum sealed bar I can use for more food or snacks or whatever on the walk. And then finally, I have this S-Bit fuel stove. So I can open it and fold it open, and then I have one of these little fuel canisters. I have 3 of them, and I can put that in the middle and light it and use that as a small little burnable stove area. So if I have a little pot, which I'll get into in a second, I can boil some water onto it and then use that to make some food. So that's all the contents of that DACA pouch. I have what's called a dead-on annihilator. This is a pretty heavy wrecking tool. It has a hammer edge right here, a pry bar part right there for nails. It has kind of this little hook right here. It's not that sharp, but it does say blade for drywall use only, so I can use that to knock down some drywall. And then I have this kind of poker end right here, this kind of pointy end, so I can use to jab into somebody or jab into a window. And it also has these little hex bit wrench parts here, it looks like, I think, and another little nail puller. So this is used for, like, let's say it's, I don't know, a huge major blizzard outside, and I really need to get into some cover inside real quick, or else I could die of hypothermia and frostbite and all that bad stuff. So this can be used to get myself into a building, whether or not it's occupied or not, I don't know, I don't really care, but I'm trying to save my own life. So that could be used for that purpose, or it could be used for self-defense as well. So just kind of an urban wrecker tool that I can use to make myself some shelter if I need to in an urban environment. So that's the Dead On Annihilator. Here at the bottom I have just a regular shemagh, bought it on Amazon. Just a regular one. I can use multiple purposes. I can use it as a head wrap to protect myself from the sun. I can use it as a face filter in case it's like smoky outside or there's kind of tear gas or some kind of riot patrol. I can use that to cover my face or my mouth and all that kind of stuff from being seen. If anybody's trying to spot me, I can use it for cover. I can also use it to filter water if I put it over a cup and I have a bunch of dirty, gross water. I can pour the water on top of that and let it filter through so there's no more sediment, no more big like bugs and stuff. So a shemagh has multiple purposes. Having one is really, really nice to have in your bag. And then here up top, I have one of these 3M respirators. This is good. This is a 3M 6001. This is a good respirator to put over your face in case, again, like if there is like gas, tear gas or something like that, if light patrol are out and there's mass riots, I can use for that. Or if there's a lot of smoke, we have a lot of wildfires here in Oklahoma sometimes, or grass fires, I'm sorry. So kind of protecting myself from the fumes of that. Just something to put over my mouth to make sure that I'm not breathing in any noxious fumes that I'm around. So good 3M gas mask right there. I need to get some goggles for that as well. And then behind that, I have this Backpacker's Pantry. This is mashed potatoes and gravy with beef. So what I'll get into here in a second, my pot to boil water with. But this is a good thing just to have as a meal, as one good meal as I'm out and about. Maybe I have to stop somewhere around dinner time on my way home. I can use that to have a meal, so that way I'm not walking around with gurgling stomach trying to get some food. So Backpacker's Pantry, mashed potatoes and gravy with beef. Good camp food. And then back here in this part, it is kind of a closed off pocket. It does have a bungee kind of elastic cord to kind of draw it closed, so that way you can kind of keep the stuff from sloshing around or getting out. So I like to use this a lot. So I'll open that up. On the top I have a multi-cam boonie cap. So another thing just to kind of either use for concealment. I'm not going to be playing Ninja or Navy SEAL or anything like that, but just a way to kind of use for concealment, or another way to keep the sun off my head and my shoulders and my face. Just something to protect that. So this is a True Spec, I think. Yeah, True Spec boonie cap and the multi-cam color. And then underneath that, I have this Granite Gear Air Zip Sack. I've shown you before in other packs in my EDC pack. This is the other one too. It's blue. It's a ripstop nylon. I really like that. Inside of here, I have some night eyes. This is some of their rope or little cordage. It is reflective on the silver parts. I don't remember the length of this. It's pretty long though. Just a good little length of cordage to use for anything. I mean, you can use this kind of cord for whatever you want. And then also in there too, I have an Anchor power, this is the Power Ad. This is a 10,000 mega amp output. It's actually got two outputs. You got a regular one and a speedy, kind of faster charging one here with an LED indicator. I like to have this one. I like to have a backup power bank wherever I go, charge my electronics. And then of course the cord that goes with it to charge my iPhone. And finally, I have some extra backup Surefire lithium 123 batteries. Most of my flashlights and stuff run on that. So having a bunch of these backups is definitely needed because I'll go through it a lot. So then it looks like this might be our final gear down here. I have one more thing. So I have this little cooking pot. So it's a GSI Outdoors little titanium pot, I think. This is good for boiling water. Like I said, use with as bit soap. So I can use it to boil some water if I need to use that to pour into my backpacker's pantry thing, or if I find some water and I don't think it's safe, I can boil it real quick to make sure it's clear of any bacteria or protozoa or anything like that. So that way I can have at least something to drink out of. Another thing besides my Nalgene, of course, that I can actually boil with. So I have that. And then inside of that I have this SOL, Survive Outdoors Longer. This is their emergency bivvy. Just basically a little impromptu sleeping bag or kind of cover I can use. It's not anything permanent, so I do need to get a better shelter, I know. But this is just a little backup to that emergency bivvy to kind of keep me warm or dry wherever I am. So that was inside the pot. And then one final gear. I know it's kind of funny to laugh at, but having some toilet paper with you wherever you go could be a lifesaver. This is some Coleman Campers toilet paper. If nature calls and you're not anywhere near a bathroom and you're outside, having some toilet paper on you could be a lifesaver to prevent any kind of disease or infection if you don't take care of your business. I don't want to be wiping with leaves that could be poison ivy or poison oak. So having some toilet paper on me that is biodegradable as camping toilet paper, it could definitely be a lifesaver. So that looks like that's all inside that bag. So that is the end of my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. That's the end of part 2 of the 2 parts. So hopefully that should give you an idea of what to carry in your get home bag, give you some ideas of what to start with if you don't have one already, and to kind of give you an idea of why I carry one and why others would too. So I would love if you guys left me a comment down below, tell me what you thought. I'll put links to all this stuff for Amazon, links down at the bottom as well. So if you like any of this stuff I showed you, feel free to click the links and purchase it from there. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more, subscribe. There's a button on the bottom right. You can see that it will automatically subscribe you. So yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good day, guys.